What if everything you thought you knew about animals was only half the story? Millions of years ago, the creatures that rule Africa today looked completely different. Some were smaller, some were larger, and some were almost unrecognizable. This is a journey through time, a story of survival, adaptation, and evolution. From giant predators to peaceful giants, from strange ancestors to the incredible animals we see today. Welcome to the wild past of Africa. And trust me, by the end of this video, you'll never look at these animals the same way again. Elephants. Today, elephants are giants, the largest land animals on Earth. But their story didn't start that way. Millions of years ago, their ancestors were smaller, stranger, and far more diverse. Some had long curved tusks, others had shorter trunks. Some even looked more like oversized pigs than the majestic animals we know today. These early creatures lived in forests, not open savannas. They didn't need massive ears or huge bodies because the environment was completely different. But then, Africa began to change. Forests slowly disappeared. Open lands expanded. Temperatures rose. Water became harder to find, and only those who could adapt survived. Elephants evolved larger bodies to travel long distances. Their ears grew bigger to release heat. Their trunks became powerful tools, used for drinking, feeding, and even communication. What we see today is not just an animal. It's the result of millions of years of survival, a walking monument of evolution. Giraffes. At first glance, giraffes look almost unreal. Their long necks, towering height, and slow, graceful movements make them one of the most unique animals on Earth. But evolution didn't create this overnight. Early giraffe ancestors had short necks, nothing like today's giants. They lived in environments where food was easy to reach. But as competition grew, everything changed. Leaves near the ground became scarce. Animals competed for every bite. And suddenly, height became power. Giraffes with slightly longer necks could reach higher branches. They had more food, more energy, a better chance to survive. Generation after generation, their necks grew longer. Not because they wanted to, but because they had to. Today, giraffes stand as silent proof that even the smallest advantage can change everything. Lions. The lion, the king of the savannah, a symbol of power, dominance, and fear. But even kings have a past. Ancient big cats once roamed across continents. Some were larger, some were faster, some were more dangerous than lions today. But Africa is not a place for the weak. To survive here, lions had to evolve something different. Not bigger claws, not sharper teeth, but teamwork. Lions became one of the only cats to hunt in groups. They learned to cooperate, to strategize, to work together. And that changed everything. Today, a pride of lions is one of the most efficient hunting forces in nature. Not because of size, but because of unity. Hippos. At first glance, hippos don't look dangerous. They seem slow, heavy, almost lazy. But this illusion couldn't be further from a truth. Millions of years ago, the ancestors of hippos were completely different. They lived mostly on land and looked more like small, hoofed animals than the semi-aquatic giants we see today. And here's something almost unbelievable. Hippos are closely related to whales. Yes, the same massive creatures that rule the oceans today share a common ancestor with hippos. Over time, some of these ancient animals moved deeper into the water. Why? Because water meant safety. Water meant survival. Under the burning African sun, staying cool became essential. Rivers and lakes offered protection from predators and extreme heat. Slowly, generation by generation, hippos transformed. Their bodies became heavier, perfect for sinking and walking underwater. Their eyes and nostrils moved higher on their heads, allowing them to see and breathe while almost completely submerged. Today, hippos are among the most dangerous animals in Africa. Not because they hunt, but because they defend. What once was a land animal became a silent, territorial force of the water. Crocodiles. Some animals evolved dramatically over time. Others barely change at all. Crocodiles belong to the second group. They are often called living fossils, and for good reason. Millions of years ago, when dinosaurs ruled the earth, crocodile-like creatures were already lurking in the water. And surprisingly, they were already perfect. Their bodies were built for ambush. Their jaws were designed for crushing power. Their patience unmatched. While the world changed, climate shifted, species disappeared. Crocodiles remained almost the same because they didn't need to change. Evolution had already done its job. Today, African crocodiles are silent predators. They wait, they watch, and when the moment comes, it's already too late. They're not just survivors of evolution. They're proof that sometimes perfection doesn't need improvement. Zebras. Black and white. Simple, yet mysterious. Zebras are one of the most recognizable animals on Earth, but their iconic stripes didn't always exist. Early ancestors of zebras looked more like ordinary horses, with plain coats and less striking patterns. So why did stripes appear? Even today, scientists are still searching for the answer. Some believe stripes confuse predators, creating optical illusions when zebras move in groups. Others think stripes help regulate body temperature or even keep insects away. But one thing is certain, those stripes made a difference. Because zebras survived. In a harsh African environment, survival often depends on small details. And sometimes, those details are the difference between life and death. Rhinos. Rhinos are symbols of strength. Massive bodies, thick skin, powerful horns. But their past is even more incredible. Millions of years ago, some rhino species were among the largest land mammals ever to exist. Some had no horns at all. Others were covered in thick hair, adapted to cold climates. They lived in environments very different from modern Africa. But as the earth warmed and landscapes changed, rhinos had to adapt once again. They became what we know today, powerful, armored animals of the savanna. But evolution cannot protect them from everything. Today, rhinos face a new threat. Not nature, humans. And their survival now depends not on evolution, but on us. Leopards. Silent, invisible, deadly. Leopards are masters of stealth. But millions of years ago, their ancestors were not as perfect hunters as they are today. Early big cats had to compete with stronger, faster predators. Survival wasn't guaranteed. So leopards evolved something different. Not strength, not size, but silence. Their spotted coats became the perfect camouflage, blending into trees, grass, and shadows. Their bodies became lighter, more flexible. They learned to climb trees, escaping danger and hiding their prey from other predators. Today, leopards are among the most adaptable animals in Africa. They don't need a group. They don't need power. They survive because they are unseen. Buffalo. At first glance, buffalo may not seem impressive, but they are one of the most dangerous animals in Africa. Their ancestors were smaller, less aggressive, and more vulnerable. So evolution gave them something powerful. Unity. Buffalo evolved to move in massive herds. Thousands of individuals moving as one. Predators may attack one buffalo, but they face the entire herd. Today, buffalo are known to fight back, even against lions, because together, they are unstoppable. Ostriches. The ostrich cannot fly, but that doesn't mean it is weak. Long ago, bird ancestors ruled the skies. Flight was survival, but in Africa's open lands, something changed. Speed became more important than flight. Ostriches evolved powerful legs. They became the fastest runners among birds, reaching incredible speeds. Instead of escaping into the sky, they outrun danger on the ground. Evolution didn't take away their ability. It replaced it with something better. Evolution is not a straight path. It doesn't plan. It doesn't think. It reacts. Every change, every mutation, every survival look around. Every animal you see today is a survivor, a result of countless battles, changes, and challenges. Elephants that adapted to heat, lions that learned to work together, hippos that returned to water, crocodiles that never needed to change. This is not just nature. This is evolution in motion. And the story is not over. Because right now, somewhere in Africa, evolution is happening again.